This next poem is called Achaemenides, and it tells the story of the Greek castaway Achaemenides, who was allegedly a member of Ulysses' crew. According to both Virgil and Ovid, he's left stranded on the island of the Cyclopes after his comrades make their escape, and he lives on in the hills until eventually he's rescued by Aeneas, who is seeking a new homeland following Troy's destruction at the hands of the Greeks. And the story always fascinated me, and this poem was written from his point of view. Achaemenides. The Sibyls didn't bother with me, but one or two poets filled the blanks in. An Ithacan king, vying for the sea, conscripted men to the mast on his flagship crossing to Troy. Nearly his whole crew, wretched cost of rudderless roving, would die in some way or another. I'd outlast my comrades, my skull a cave for every marooned thought, cleared by sea winds. The waves' aged murmur, a wine-dark clot of spray, was my eternal clock to flail and flare on the ebb. I stood watch as if on my ship's deck, slept in a berry shrub at night, held my hungry peace. He was out there, tremoring the island with his rams, roaring without cease. A brute, drooling shepherd, blind in one gored eye and still raging. Him, and a tribe of him, their fangs gritted by quotidian corpse chewing, eyes rusted as mooring rings. I'd neither the brains nor the backbone to engineer an escape, as my pilot had. I preferred to linger, my beard laden with barnacles, and eye the bloodlit skyline for rescue. Laughing gulls, black-armoured scorpions, and flame-petalled flowers thronged the hills and shore. The sun's daily whim beat too heavily for comfort. When sleep did take me, I saw brass shields, chariot, my old Xiphus drawn, flames tearing through Trojan fields. I prayed for the gods to be cruelly kind and smite me with flood or drought. Somehow, I kept my presence of mind, did not gasp my despair out. I needed a woman, needed her touch and kiss. I thought often of the girls I'd courted before sailing, memories a crutch for my mind to stoop on. Heavy scrolls of loneliness heat-rippled tore at me. I'd see none of them again, I knew, had drunk my life's fill of their beauty. I'd lost them, like my ill-starred crew. If I am to die, may it be by man's hand, not crushed or sunk or devoured. I prayed for that much at least, the plans of Olympus, to see me safely delivered from his eyeballs' crimson gush, the cave we made our woolen escape from, gawking at the bay, lethal hush stirring him from sleep, the grapes that gave him his wine burst in his palm, his voice and footfall alike echoing the strafed harmonic of thunder. Blessed to swim, condemned to sink, I'd no way of knowing, until a fresh high glut of tide brought the Dardanian galleys, and my first glimpse of raised sails, bellying and white, in an age. Mariners walked in slumps, leaning to their oars, arid lips panting for heaven and home, beards surf-smeared, fibrous as bullwhips. I saw horsehair helms, blunt swords. A fleet steered clear off the map's edge and held back, afraid for my life. But these were men in the anchorage, not beasts. Surely blood was enough for mercy. With my thorn-fixed cloak, what possible threat was I to them now? Despair, weariness, terror and shock felled me at the knee, and I held out. Men of Troy, fly you far from this shore. Where you make port is not important. The danger you here face is too great to ignore. Put back to sea. Save yourselves this instant. I, who was once your Grecian foe, now beg thee to grant but one meagre service. Bring me with you if you will, or else kill me. but cast off now, before the giants arise. I say this without shame. I wept, grovelled, kissed the barren sand before them. The eldest of them stepped forward, gave me his hand, and I stood abeam. Their captain, a born survivor as mine once was, saw the giant for himself and did not stay to fight. Jaded as his men were, he led them back down the pebbly shelf to the ships, myself now in their number, and we slipped a swift course for the cove. The one-eyed clan cursed our venture, but fathoms ran too deep for their heave, their stride. Now, sea-born and free at last, I was ragged locust for the shoal and river mouth, reefs clenched like a fist under the bare walls of the Gelone. Yet sun-drunk and hunger-shredded, I saw we had a good skipper, wary in his pilotage, but alert to the dreaded unfolding of a voyage, dogged emissary for nomads. Yet he never claimed to know his heading. He was as lost as I. As gratitude, I kept my head down and worked the mains, my new duty, to share utterly in my rescuer's fate. They fed me, healed me, found me a home. And it came as no surprise of late that a price isn't on my head, or that no one even set off in search of me or my brothers. Yet I am here, thankful and restored, saved by an enemy whom I greet and look to now as an idol of my flight. No longer hunched as the rock, I saw the blind herder fling at my receding ship. So from staunch shores now, may my voice once more sing.